Hi everyone, Pam Gregory, astrologer. I'm going to be speaking to you today about the first half of January, and in particular the full moon that we have coming up in Cancer on the 4th to the 5th of January. Just as background to this, I might just remind you that Saturn has just gone into Sagittarius. It did that on the 23rd of December 2014, and it will stay there pretty much for the next 3 years. And wherever Saturn is, it tends to restructure that area. So when it's in Sagittarius, it's very likely to be bringing about new laws, new policies, new regulations on certain areas, such as education. Immigration is going to be a very big one. Religious institutions and religious beliefs, racism, xenophobia, and even currency exchange, I believe. I think there's going to be a lot of work going into things like space travel. And also possibly getting more evidence. Saturn is about getting the facts, getting the information, getting the hard data. And Sagittarius is about an interconnected universe. So in that sense, we may even discover life in other areas of our universe, and we may also discover more evidence of an interconnected universe, and that could perhaps offer some insights into consciousness and how that works. It's going to be very, very interesting. In your own chart, of course, it will tend to restructure the area of the chart through which it's passing for the next 3 years. Jupiter is still in Leo. It will remain in Leo until August 2015 when it goes into Virgo, and I'll be doing another video about that. But while it's in Leo, this is very good news for anyone with Leo emphasis, whether you have your Sun, Moon, Ascendant, or even any personal planets in Leo. This will really help to expand your heart energy, get you to live from the heart. It can bring wisdom and abundance. And particularly when it's in Leo, it's about creative self-expression. It's about play. It's about having fun, having a good time. So a really lovely time for the next few months if you have Leo emphasis. We also, in the first half of January, have 3 planets in Aquarius. We have Mercury, Venus and Mars, all transiting through Aquarius. And this can give a humanitarian tone to the month, being concerned for the common good and what can we as a group do to improve the lot of the common good. So quite a strong humanitarian theme, I think, for the first half of this month, and indeed continuing through the rest of January. But then on the 4th to the 5th, we have the full moon in Cancer at 14 degrees 30. Very important degree, 14 degrees 30 of Cancer, for reasons I'll explain in a moment. But this full moon is exact on the 4th. For instance, in America, it happens at 8:53 p.m. Pacific, 11:53 p.m. Eastern, and 4:53 a.m. GMT on the 5th, the next day. And full moons are often very emotional. I mean, the moon is connected to our instinctive emotion, and when it's full, we can be brimming over with emotion. And people tend to feel it particularly building up to the full moon, I've noticed. So, but because this full moon is also in Cancer, and Cancer as a sign is ruled by the moon, there's likely to be a lot of emotion, a lot of compassion, a lot of sensitivity, a lot of feelings of vulnerability even, perhaps. So it'll be particularly felt by anyone born between the 3rd and the 7th of January or April, the 4th to the 7th of July, or the 6th to the 10th of October of any year. Those people are particularly likely to feel this full moon. Now, it's a powerful full moon. The reason is it's exactly aligned with the Uranus-Pluto square that I've been talking about for the last 3 years. And if you're not familiar with that symbolism, please check out my previous YouTube videos and you'll find a lot of information there, or even go into the archive on my website. I'll mention that at the end, and you can read the newsletters from there too. So what essentially it's doing, the Sun is in Capricorn conjunct Pluto. Pluto is about power and how we use our power. even in a global sense, how we use power. The moon is in Cancer, opposing Pluto. So again, both the sun and the moon are shining a light on Pluto. So it's highlighting the way we use power. The sun and the moon and Pluto are also square to Uranus. So it's highlighting the Uranus-Pluto symbolism, and again we could see some sudden, disruptive, eruptive, revolutionary types of events. People could experience major awakenings, particularly if their birth charts are being triggered by this full moon. The Sun, the Moon and Pluto are also squaring what's known as the nodal axis. Now the nodal axis, keeping this very simple, is essentially where the moon's path cuts the ecliptic. And it's known really as a line of destiny, because there's a south node, that's what's behind us, and there's a north node where we're headed for, what our destiny is if we fulfill our potential. So we must leave behind some of the qualities of the south node. Now the south node in this instance at the full moon is in Aries, and Aries is to do with assertion, aggression, impulsiveness, whereas the north node, where we could be headed, is in Libra, and Libra of course is ruled by Venus. So this is much more connected with love and peace and balance and equality. So what this full moon is really asking us is how well, both individually and globally, we have used issues of power. Have we used it principally via the aggression, assertion, impulsiveness route? And as it's a full moon, a cycle of completion, it's asking us how well has that worked? Do we perhaps want to turn our focus to our destiny, to the north node, which is much more about a different use of power, which is more balanced, more loving, more peaceful? So where is this full moon falling in your chart at 1430 of Cancer? Which cycle of completion is coming to closure for you? So really from now until March, we're going to continue quite a high intensity tone through those weeks, and the second half of January will be extremely important too, and I'll be talking about that in the next video. But if you'd like more free information, free monthly information, or more information about my book, just check out my website, which is www.thenextstep.uk.com, and have a wonderful January and a terrific 2015, and thank you so much for listening. Thank you.